The homelessness problem in LA, and I'm sure in a lot of places, is fucking out of control. This shit's ridiculous. So my wife calls me while she's on the way to work. We both work in downtown LA. We drive out of South LA to downtown LA each day. And overall, I would say that South LA doesn't have the same problem with homelessness that you have in like downtown LA and surrounding areas throughout downtown and like adjacent to the freeway and shit like that. But throughout the city, it's ridiculous. And it's not even just like quote unquote lower income areas. It's fucking from downtown to Brentwood to Santa Monica. There's not like really a place where you can go and be like, hey, look, I'm not gonna have a crazy person approach me while I'm fucking eating lunch. It's really ridiculous. So me and my wife were just talking, and she calls me and she tells me that as she's on the way to school, you know, my son, he's a 3-year-old, he's discovering poop. He looks to the side and he says, she's pooping or something along that lines. And my wife looks, and there's a lady bent over with their pants down, pooping on the street. They're not even fucking hiding this shit. They're not even like going behind buildings anymore. It's just, hey everyone, fuck you, I'm gonna take this shit right here. Like, I am all for, like, you know, homeless advocacy, you know what I mean? Because a lot of things, like, there's reasons why people end up places, and a lot of times it's like, it's, you know, it's systematic issues, sometimes it's individual issues, but I think as a society we should have a safety net that can, you know, catch the most vulnerable people and take care of them, not only for them, but to have a fair society and a safe and clean society. It's like, there's no way that in one of the wealthiest states or the wealthiest cities and the wealthiest states and the wealthiest country in the world, that this should be like such a prevalent, consistent issue that just seems unfixable. It's absolutely disgusting. You know, like, I think that I see a naked homeless person every day. I swear to God, every day when I drive into downtown LA, I look to the right, I see a cock. You know, I look to the left, I see a butt naked crackhead. Fucking, you know, it becomes such the norm that it's outrageous, you know, and you just ask yourself, like, what the fuck am I paying so much in taxes for? Am I just paying taxes so that I can pay somebody's retirement pension that used to work for the city? That's what it starts to fucking seem like. Like, the same potholes have been there for the last fucking 10 years that I've been in this area. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, where are the taxes going? It's like they're going directly to salaries, and they're going to fucking retirement pensions and fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but the reality of it is that the homelessness problem is the one screaming, gleaming problem that needs to be handled ASAP. I don't understand how you could be in public service in Los Angeles, and everyone obviously has different jobs within, you know, public service, but the people that are in charge of keeping the streets clean, keeping homeless people not homeless, taking care of the mentally ill that end up on the street and posing a risk to everyone else. Hey, look, you're not doing your job. I don't care like what struggle you're having to do your job. The reality of it is that you guys aren't doing your goddamn job. And right now what I'm doing is I'm going to my office so I can do my job, you know, which is loans and real estate, right? So like, that means I'm going to help some clients find some properties. I'm going to originate their loan. I'm going to submit the shit. I'm going to push it through the process. I'm going to make sure everything's on point, and we're going to get the deal closed. That's the extent of my job and helping my agents, right? If you are in public office, what else is your job besides making sure the public is safe and productive and healthy? And I just don't understand how at this point we still have this issue. We passed a bill, Measure H, maybe 6 years ago. We voted on that. We passed that bill, and I think maybe it's 4 or 5 years ago actually. And I swear I see no difference. That bill is supposed to send like $300-400 million directly towards the homeless problem. I see no difference at all. it's gotten worse. Obviously COVID happened, which, you know, understandably made things harder, but goddamn, like, figuring this shit out, like, I don't think it's that hard. I think what happens, this is an opinion, I don't know all the facts behind this, but I think what happens is that because I would assume that they want a solution to this as well. I would assume. I could be wrong. Maybe the conspiracy theorists are right. Maybe they have a plot to fucking, you know, lower the value in the city and send everything into chaos, and then we all fucking fight, and I don't fucking know, but like, I would assume that they have an incentive and a goal to create the best environment possible, right? You would think. But I think what happens is, to make levers move, you need multiple parties. You need to put funding towards things, which sometimes means taking funding from something else. And maybe bad planning, terrible organizing, and just lack of management skills that are goal-oriented. I don't know. But it definitely seems, based on the result, that whoever's in power or in control of this is truly having a struggle getting anything done, because it just seems to only get worse, you know? And like my wife always says, it's not a infinite problem. There's not 20 million homeless people in the street. There might be 120,000, or you know what? I'm not gonna say the number. I'm not gonna say numbers if I don't know the exact number, but I think it's it's a number that is not out of the realm of like possibility. With the amount of funds this state produces and this city, if we're just talking about Los Angeles or this county, I think that if there's 100,000, 200,000 people that need shelter and need some sort of like therapy, counseling, I think that you should be able to produce that. It's not like you're giving anything else to the city, right? Like, everything that we have as citizens here, we pay for through taxes, right? Like, the house I buy, I pay for it on a monthly basis, and I pay county property taxes for that. Any income I bring in, I pay federal and state taxes, right? Anything I buy, I pay sales tax on it. Anything I sell, I pay income tax on it, right? Like, every transaction that we as citizens make has some sort of financial gain for the city. But ask yourself, like, how often are you getting anything fucking back from the city? All you ask for, and you're not even asking for it, all you're asking for is just clean the goddamn streets. Make it to where I don't have to see someone taking a shit when I'm on the way to work. You know what I mean? Like, and really, it's not a diss towards homeless people at all. It's more like it's a direct fucking jab at the people that are in positions of power to, you know, that aren't doing shit to fix this. It shouldn't be like some tiny incremental changes. Fuck that. We need a one foul swing, one foul swoop at this shit to knock out homelessness over fucking 30 days, right? Hey, sorry, you can't sleep on the streets anymore. Sorry, here's a hotel room for you at this place. Here's an apartment at this place, right? Like, you must stay there. If you're on the streets sleeping after a certain time frame, you're gonna be ticketed. There has to be some repercussions, and obviously mental illness takes a part in that, but there has to be, and it's not really about like, let's penalize these people, but it's just like, let's control the system or the situation. Let's figure out a way to not have the you know, people just living on the streets, creating different sorts of hazards, doing drugs. Like, I'm gonna be hopping off the freeway here in downtown in a bit, and I'm certain I'll see like 3 heroin addicts just laid out on the ground after a hard night of fucking drugs and shit, right? Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be fucking funny. I'm just saying this is the reality of like Los Angeles, and from videos I've seen online, it's the reality of like a lot of metropolitan areas throughout the country. You know, it's like drugs are obviously heavy as fuck. Mental illness is a component. You know, there's people that are doing drugs that push them into some sort of mental illness, and they end up on the streets, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not like trying to be like rage a drug war, but it's like, Jesus Christ, like, nowhere to put your efforts, you know what I mean? Like you probably shouldn't be focused on fucking anyone selling marijuana at all. No, there should be no energy towards that, like, unless you're just concerned about like some fucking cartels that are doing some other shit too, right? But like, there should be no energy towards your local person selling weed. You should be solely focused on fucking heroin, fentanyl, and meth. Those are the things that end up right in our face, creating an actual hazard and risk for the society, right? Like, but, you know, I guess I'm preaching to the choir. But anyways, I think that the reality of it is that this needs to be something where we back off the like being too liberal about rules related to, you know, sleeping on the sidewalks. Obviously there needs to be an alternative provided for people that can't do it for themselves, not only for them, just for humanity, but for everyone else, you know what I mean? Like, get that person a hotel room for me, like, so that I don't have to fucking step over shit when I am walking my kid down the street, you know what I mean? Like do that so that, you know, like, there's not hepatitis C on the street, you know, there's not fucking risk of fucking crazy ass like viruses spreading because there's fecal matter all over the fucking street, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, pretty disgusting. But hey, look, the reality of it is that it's a fixable problem, and we need to see some goddamn results out here. Hey, look, like and subscribe. 100 Years of Wealth. Make a comment. Let me know what you think on this topic. Stay up.